Here we are, August 27th, and I am live in the temporary location as my office is being remodeled to a degree, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about in terms of the rebuilding through disaster kind of thing. That's where this whole idea come from. So this is the first broadcast I've ever done outside of the office. I think it is, but hey, here we are live. If you're live, let me know with a hashtag live or hashtag replay. So I know where if you are watching in that capacity. And if you are in the Facebook group, I can't see any of the comments. I apologize for that. I still got to get working on figuring out how to see those comments. But anywhere else, I can see the comments. And yeah, so let's talk a little bit about this. I made some notes just so I can get my mind around this. But there was a couple of things I just want to bring you up to date on why I was thinking this area. So last week, it was pretty funny, I guess, because it was just after the live stream that I did last week. And I was, I usually have I do have a stand-up desk, and I was live, and then I usually, put it back down when I want to sit down and do a little bit more work or just recap after what I did with the live. And then all of a sudden I just hear this huge cranking noise, this breaking of the desk. So that one of the motor mechanisms in the leg, or one of the legs, just the mechanism broke. And so the desk was like on this huge angle for about a week. It's about a week. So it came in today that the new piece just came in. And so that was a disaster. Like for me, it was a disaster because like everything is up in one office, and I had to move everything down here to where I'm broadcasting from now, which is in my dining room, which is cool. And it just rethinking of how am I going to get on and do the work that I need to go do. There's other pieces of this that's really important because one of the ways to rebuild yourself from anything, from any disaster, whatever you want to label as a disaster, to the degree of what disaster means to you, because there's different levels of it, is the word resilience. And I think that is one of my, I know resilience is one of my favorite words. I don't know about you, but I think that is the biggest part of this whole entire process, is how resilient are you? And when you experience setbacks, whether it's personal, business, that resilience is what's going to move you forward. It's a psychology of resilience. So there's emotional setbacks that are bouncing you back, and there's things that you do within that adaptability or within that resilience. One of them is adaptability. So how are you able to adapt to changing circumstances? Now, I am one of those people who love consistency, not much change. I like things to be normal. So when things kind of get out of whack for me, it really throws me off balance. That's why I like to do the same routine every morning. That's why I like to try to go to bed at the same time, just to get my circadian rhythm in play and do everything, in rhythm. But it's when those disasters or when those things happen that, maybe move you out and set you back. So it's having that positive mindset that you could take that circumstance and then it gives you an opportunity for growth. And what I'm talking about here is you look for areas of improvement. And this is what is really cool about this whole thing that happened last week with my desk, because the first thing I did was, okay, well, do I get a new desk now? And I started looking for new desks, and hey, there's a really cool replacement that I could get, and all this cable management stuff underneath. And I know I'm geeking out, but it's important that you know this. So I'm looking at all these cable management systems and all this, and long story short is that I'm rebuilding I'm innovating the way that I used to have the office to make it more efficient. So if that disaster, I keep calling it a disaster, I think it's major, but if that thing didn't happen, I would not be in the place I am today, which is going to be even better because I'm just starting to rebuild it now. I got all the parts in. I've got a new cable management system. I've got moving things off the top of the desk into below the desk. So it's innovation. It's breakthrough, because you're looking at a problem now or something that's been normal and constant that has been disrupted. So now you look at, how can I look at this in a positive light? There's always this positive side to everything. Every negative thing, even if it takes years, has a positive side to it. Sometimes it's really, really difficult to find it, and maybe you never will find it. But I've had many, many things in my life that have gone wrong, And if I had let them control my life, then I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So one of the areas I believe that is super important that has helped me even getting through business setbacks and disasters was support systems. And having strong social connections, a support network, is extremely important. So even with the this desk thing, I've still had support systems. Even my wife today support, because if I didn't have her to hold up the desk and help me and do these other things, then I wouldn't be able to get the thing back together. So it's having the people around you that are going to help you uh, go through that disaster. If you're here live, by the way, let me know. Hashtag live or hashtag replay. Has anything happened to you, like in terms of what is your quote unquote disaster? I'd love to hear from you and what you've done through that, um, that problem and how you've gotten out of it. Like I said, the resilience piece is probably the most important thing. And if you don't have resilience, you're going to let those things take over your entire life and throw you off balance, which pulls you back um, behind behind moving forward. So I think that this is where when you're rebuilding things, it's an opportunity. If you look at things as an opportunity, um, what I've learned from these failures, if you want to call it that, because realistically, the mechanism failed, and but that failure brings on huge opportunity, and that's really what the message I want to get across to you is what are the opportunities that some kind of failure, however you want to define it, however it is for you, helps you move forward. That's the biggest lesson I'm learning from this example. And so I'm hoping what I'm going to do is next week we're going to be broadcasting from the same area if all things go well and there's not another disaster. But that's where I'll be broadcasting from. I am excited to go back now and put everything back together and then let you know what the process is. Thank you for being here. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of things to think about to help your mind move forward if you getting into any kind of derailment, maybe that's a better word than disaster, and make you think in a more positive way that you can move forward to. Thanks for being here. We'll see you soon.